What's up, everybody? Tyler Redmond, Hunter Ridge Outdoors, another episode of the podcast. And uh, by request of this gentleman that is on with us, wanted to do a second podcast. I said, heck yeah, let's do it. Travis T-Bone Turner is back. He's back, baby, with all of us. Speech. And we're so happy that T-Bone decided to join in with the Hunter Ridge family again on the podcast. And Bone, how you been doing, man? You enjoying the summer?
Man, I love living in Georgia, but there's just a few things I don't like, and it's the thick yellow heavy pollen that you get in the springtime from the pine trees, and then the heat, man, the humidity. We make fun of all those people up north that get all that snow and stuff in the wintertime, but I think they pay us back June, July, and August as hot as it is.
Oh gosh, I'm gonna tell you something. Our grass was dead as a bone, and it was so brown it looked like winter again almost. And I was like, man, we need to get some rain. So luckily we were able to get it Thursday morning. So we was able to get it, and luckily we come down with a good shower. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, it rained some here yesterday. We got a couple of showers yesterday.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
great. Definitely keep that grass green for sure. Well, buddy, everybody knows deer season's on its way, and I saw. If y'all haven't got a chance, I encourage y'all to go to the Bone Collector channel. You will see uh, a video that T-Bone did of the property. That's a nice place, man. How's everything turned out to be? You getting the stuff ready for the deer, man?
Yeah, it's if you love the outdoors and stuff, so many people just associate it with just being 3 or 4 months out of the year during the season. But if you really get into the management end of it, it's enjoyable every day of the year. So I enjoy the management part about as much as I do the hunting part. So taking care of the deer and seeing turkey strutting and seeing deer out there in the clover plots and providing food for them all year long and trimming limbs and shooting lanes and strategizing about what you're going to do and the deer you're going to see with the trail cameras and stuff like that. Yeah, so that was a pretty neat little deal. A couple of the producers came up the other day, and we were able to ride them around and kind of show them what we got going on here at the house and at the Casa de Bone, so to speak. So we rode them around and showed them a few things, and just kind of had a late spring check in.
There you go. There you go. I love that Casa de Bone, man. I love it.
Casa de
Um,
Bone.
there you go. I saw you were able to get in the blind and do some turkey hunting. Any activity? Any luck?
Yeah, I went a few times. I mean, I had quite a few turkeys around here too, but I guess I just ain't quite as mad at them as Michael Waddell is. So I went a few times, and probably if I'd have hunted a little harder, I could have. But I'll be honest with you, I got to where I kind of like seeing them around here. They have such a seems like in Georgia and the southeast period, the turkeys have such a hard row to hoe. And when I mean that, meaning like between so much of their habitats getting gone because of uh, forestry planting so many trees, so they don't have as much habitat. And between raccoons and armadillos and all that kind of thing invading their eggs and coyotes and stuff like that, it's like, man, you finally get a good a good flock of turkeys, and you kind of want to keep them around. You like seeing them all the time. So I probably should have hunted a little harder than what I did, but I didn't. I just enjoyed having them, and I went out there and spent some time. I mean, a few times had some hens come in and heard a few gobbles. Just didn't have nothing come in close enough, so it was fun sitting out there. But no, I didn't get one this year. But that's okay. That's okay.
Always next year.
Always next year, or I'll just make the deer pay harder for it.
There you go.
Yeah,
we like by surprise, they have officially. I told you they were planning on logging down behind our house.
yeah.
Well, turns out they have officially wiped it all down. Even the tree that my stand was originally on. So when I knew that was gone, all the deer were gone. So, but honestly,
Are they done cutting?
yeah, they've already done the cutting, and it looks so much different now.
I
But
bet.
they have back in March, I just got at work and my dad texted me saying that there is a Tom out there strutting with hens. I said, "You've got to be kidding me, right?" And he said, "Nope." I went out there that evening, T-Bone, and I kid you not, that was probably one of the biggest Toms I'd ever seen in my life. This thing was ginormous. And the first time I went to hunt him, um, I heard him gobble. I counted 11 times on the roost. And
Wow.
I was sitting there and I was like, I was debating, whether to start calling when he flew down or while he was still on roost. But ever since when he flew down, he shut up. So unfortunately, that's when I started calling when he flew down. I didn't know at the time, but he never did respond to me afterwards. But then, believe it or not, they started cranking up the equipment behind me with during the reconstruction. I kid you not, I went to go get the turkey decoys because I thought it was going to be over with. And as loud as it was, you couldn't hear anything hardly. But I kid you not, I went to go get the decoys and I could see a turkey head stand out in the field. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I snuck down. I got back to my seat. Turns out it was a hen. She come out there walking right in the field and you could hear her cutting. And it was unbelievable how you could still hear her through all the stuff they were doing behind me.
Yeah.
And they're used to that stuff.
They get used to it, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. And me and my friend Jonathan come very close to that one turkey in late season because he was feeding and there was a hen with him. But after several times, I said, dude, we're going to have to crawl to get to this bird. So we ended up crawling. And when we started calling, he started gobbling. And I was like, okay, there we go. So hopefully, we were hoping our plan was so this turkey was about 100 yards. We set up the decoy like not even 20 yards right in front of us. So we were hoping this Tom was going to come feed his way down or see this hen and come that way. But what happened was, as soon as he gobbled the first time, a real hen behind us started yelping. And she come within less than 20 yards behind us.
Wow.
And we're standing there, dude. We weren't sitting, we were standing there. But the hen come to our left, went over the ditch, fed there for a little bit, and then went back across. But when she went back across, that's what beat everything. And then the turkey, sure enough, gobbled and made its way to that hen. I think they bred because you didn't hear anything for a good 15, 30 minutes. So, but hey, that was a cool experience if I ever saw it.
Yeah, it sounds like as big as he was, he's probably a good mature turkey, and they don't get that way from being dumb, do they?
Oh, absolutely. And well, this other turkey that me and Jonathan went on to was actually not the one behind my house, but this was a whole different bird. And it so comes that my friend Randy, Jonathan's friend, was able to capitalize and kill that bird 3 days after that hunt. So I was pretty happy for him. It was about a 19-pounder Tom with
Yeah.
a thick beard.
Well, at least there's some closure with him, huh?
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I've been trying to think about what to talk about, and I
Well,
know
well, you tell me. I mean, you always quizzing people. What's been going on with you as far as like since we last talked? I know that you working pretty regular down there at the co-op or the hardware store, and I know you're a chicken specialist. You've been spitting some game, so to speak.
yeah, that's been going well. We we did a lot better with the baby chicks and selling chickens as far as what I thought it was going to be like. That went well. People come and have questions like, "Hey, when people first ask, they say they need to get started in chickens." I always tell them you need to start the babies on this feed, like baby feed, and then you want to start them, or when they start laying, you want to give them the laying feed. And you
Right.
saw when I was able to teach the little kids, you saw that,
Yep.
and that was quite an experience, and I enjoyed that to get from a different uh, part of life and to see what teachers do. That
What
was
about
pretty cool.
ducks? What about ducks? Are you pretty well versed in ducks?
Not as much as chickens, but ducks. What I found out, T-Bone, that ducks, turkeys, and any other game or any other poultry, so to speak, are a fast growing bird. What they grow way faster than chickens do. But the chickens, they're like a slow grower. So they don't need as much protein as the baby ducks, turkeys, and those type of animals do. So we basically feed them 30, they need 30% more protein, while
Yeah.
the baby chickens need 20%. So that's something always good to learn and stuff. And I, tell them how to start raising them and what they'll need. Of course, five main sources. They need a house or a box to put them in. They need their bedding, which is the shavings. You need the food, water, and heat. That's
Yeah.
about it. And once you got those five things down pat, you're good to go.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, my wife absolutely. We've got some ducks that stay down on our pond, but we've done got infatuated with them, and then plus we've got some geese that are raising their little goslings up right here. They've taken up here, so we got eight geese and five ducks and all kinds of different ducks. And unfortunately we lose a duck here or there to a coyote or a fox occasionally, so that happens, but for the most part, we've had them for a couple of years, and we really enjoy them. So we're thinking about getting some more, especially when my wife can slow down from working. We're going to have some chickens and stuff like that.
There you go. I
Yeah,
saw the I saw on the bone collector that Michael Waddell and Christy really got involved in raising some chickens now.
big time. Yep. Yeah,
That's
they've.
great.
Yep. I mean, she's went a little bit crazy. Their house is kind of nicer than most people's.
I've seen his tour of his property, man. He's got a sweet spot with all the pecan orchards and everything, man. And like you said, with him and you killing those big bucks as y'all have in your own properties, that's a little bit more special because you put the work and stuff into it. That's always good.
Yeah, yeah, it's all us from start to finish, and all the decisions were being made. I mean, don't get me wrong, hunting's enjoyable no matter what, but we're not paying an outfitter, and we're not just sliding in there for a week and hunting. We're raising these things up, and getting to see them from being a fawn or a button buck all the way up till full maturity. So yeah, it just adds to the. I use it so much, but it goes a long way, the pride factor, so to speak. So looks like you
Yep.
got you I know no we've talked about it, but maybe the folks on here that are tuning in, it looks like you got you a new roommate there behind you on the wall.
That's right. And all the folks know about it. I was able to feature him on the interview with Backwoods Bandits with Aaron Flincham. And that's all he wanted to talk about, that baby right there. But T-Bone, the biggest thing that he did was how he did such a good job uh, replacing that broken part on that antler.
Yeah,
Because if you looked at him, you wouldn't think anything was wrong with that rat.
that exactly. Yeah, my buddy Anthony Cineground, he's a real good friend, and you may follow him too, is Cineground Outdoors. He's one of
Yeah.
my good friends. Yeah, he they do a lot of stuff with Gamo, and they actually shoot the iguanas and stuff. They go down there with the Gamo team and shoot the iguanas, but that's what he does, is him and his son, they do European mounts and stuff like that. But he has gotten so good with woodworking and recreating antlers and stuff like that. I've had a few bucks that he's European mounted to where he's recreated the tine that's broke off, like you're talking about on your buck, and it's just amazing. He would be a good one to have on your podcast as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll do that. I remember you sent me that picture of that 8-pointer you'd had on camera and you shot him.
Yep,
You was able to capitalize on him last year. That was a nice buck.
it was real good buck. Yeah, he was older than as Methuselah, man. I thought he walked around with a cane most of the time.
I was about to say he's older than Joe Biden.
That's exactly right. He's older than Joe Biden.
I love that.
And
I can't wait.
I couldn't help but notice too, man, knowing that next week is 4th of July, you're repping the colors and the Realtree shirt. You
Yeah, man,
flying the flag with
absolutely.
your shirt.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
I've had this shirt for a while, and cause I mean this shirt is so good. I normally rather wear it at night to sleep in because it's just so comfortable, and just I like to keep it how it is. But um, yeah, I've had this for a good couple of years, and I love this shirt, man. It's real comfortable. It's gorgeous looking. It's patriotic. I mean,
That
and you
says
want
it
to go.
all. Family, friends, the outdoors, and God bless America. It says it all,
Amen.
don't
Absolutely. You got it
it?
right.
It says it all.
That's right. And but yeah, man. So I see that now MOTV has now got new Bone Collector episodes, and I don't think they put all of them on there yet because I know we're still, I guess, I'm waiting on the Georgia episodes because I noticed I haven't seen that on there yet. I can't wait. The are your $2? Are they going to be on there?
Yeah, they will. They'll actually they're editing them now, so they'll show them between now and the end of the year. So the next 6 months you'll see them.
There you go. That's awesome. I can't wait. I'm
Yep.
sure. I'm sure it was. I'm sure there were great hunts.
Yeah, they were good. It was, well, like naturally it's here at the house, so it means a lot more. So it was good.
That's great.
And
Um,
another one that we didn't that if folks tuned in on social media, they would have seen. We invited a friend of ours that we had met. He's disabled and lives up in Ohio. His name is Chris Hall, and we invited him down to hunt, and he came down and hunted and killed his biggest buck ever. And him being from Ohio, we killed his biggest buck down here on one of our farms, and then also he got his first deer ever with a bow right here at the house. So we checked off a few redneck to do lists for him, and that'll all be on there as well.
he will be.
Oh yeah, he'll be on there.
That's awesome, man.
Yep, he'd
That
be
is awesome.
he would be a good one to be on your podcast too, because it's kind of a huge success story. He's disabled and just got the best personality, and he just has recently he graduated college and he's going to be a criminal investigator, but also in the meantime he just got him a job working in an outdoor store, so he is eat up with the outdoors, kind of like me and you are, and then also he works in an archery shop. But the biggest thing about Chris is his heart is just so big, and he's just loves the outdoors. So yeah, he'd be another one to a good one to have on the podcast, or to be friends with or connect with on your end.
There you go. Yeah, that sounds great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. I since the podcast we oh I was about to say so. How about Michael finally going to Mexico to kill that ocellated turkey? That is nice.
Yeah, I'm glad he checked that off his list. As much as he loves turkey hunting and stuff, I'm glad he checked that off his list.
So that means he completed the World Slam, right?
Yes, that is correct.
That's awesome. He's
Yeah,
killed about everything there. He's killed the Wild Eastern, the Miriam, Gold, the uh, one of them, Rio Grande, Osceola, and now
the
Osceola.
oscillator. Yeah, yep, he's killed them all. That's for sure. But the biggest thing is, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but they killed the slam, the four birds in 10 hours and 42. Can you believe that? Did you see
I
that?
saw that. I need to
I mean,
watch that. So it was like a challenge though, right? Because they go and
well, it wasn't really like a challenge. It's just kind of like they had the means because they did it with Jack Links. His name is Troy, who owns Jack Links beef jerky.
that's
And
right.
he's got his own private jet, of course, and that's about the only way you could do it. But I wouldn't have thought you could do it in one day. I mean, I thought it would have been impossible to do in one day, but they started the clock from the time that they killed the first bird in Georgia. They flew down to Florida. They killed the second bird. They flew to Oklahoma, killed the third bird, and then they flew to Colorado and killed the fourth bird in 10 hours and 42 minutes.
Oh, that amazes me even more. I thought they were all separated doing it. They all did it together.
They did it together. They did it. Yeah, listen to me. Yeah, it's something. They kill the first bird. They run like crazy in Georgia. Get on the private jet. That's flying time too. Then they fly down to Florida. Get off the plane. Go kill an Osceola in Florida. Get back on the plane. Fly to Oklahoma. Get off the plane. Kill a Rio in Oklahoma. Get back on the plane. Fly to Colorado and kill a Merriam. All in
Holy
all in
wow.
2 hours and 42 minutes. That's amazing.
I don't think that's ever been done.
No, no. Another friend of ours, John Casimus, he did it, but I think it was like 42 hours, which is still good.
Oh yeah.
All them,
Absolutely.
but they did it from inside daylight to dark, 10 hours and
Oh,
42 minutes.
that will be one of the best parts of Can't Stop the Flock. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know how you could beat it. I mean,
Woo!
you'd have to have the birds tied up at the end of each runway.
About right.
Yeah,
How about I remember and like you said, I know you mentioned, and like I said, me and you are the same. We're more into deer hunting. Well, that's what got us started, I think. I'm more deer hunting, you are the same too. But how about when you killed the two turkeys, COVID and Corona?
yeah, that's right. Let them have it.
That was a cool hunt too. I
Yeah,
sitting in that ground blind and laying them both down.
yeah, I didn't expect that. I knew one was coming. I couldn't tell there was two different gobbles, but dang if they weren't.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Um, let's see. How about yeah, a lot of people that if they don't watch Bone Collector but they know who you are, there's things that well, I've watched them all pretty much, but you got to tell us about that two hunts in particular. You got to tell us about your first elk and the mountain lion you killed back in 2016.
that's right. Yeah, that was the mountain lion was we were going out, Nick and I both were going to the Navajo Indian Reservation, which if you don't know about the Navajo, it covers, it's the largest reservation in the world actually. It's way over 1 million acres and it covers 4 states. It covers Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico and Arizona. Well, where we were going to be hunting, we flew into New Mexico, we drove over and we was hunting the Arizona area. So we hunt with the Navajo Wildlife Fish and Game. Well, we always mule deer and or elk hunt with them. We get there, and when we get there, I thought we was just mule deer hunting with rifles, and they said, "Oh yeah, we got you mountain lion tags too." And I'm like, I mean, Nick didn't tell me anything about that. I didn't know anything about it. And I'm like, had I known we were hunting mountain lions, well,
Surprise!
two things. It was like, well, yeah, I could kill it with my rifle, but man, I'd really love to, knowing that we was hunting with dogs. I'd love to kill it with my bow. So I would have brought my bow had I known. And then the other thing is I was like, I've seen them mountain lion hunts. I mean, you got to be physically fit. And I said, I ain't cut out for climbing them mountains like that. I said, I'm gonna let somebody down. I don't know if I can do this. So anyway, the most important thing was the mule deer. So for it was a 7-day hunt. So for 5 or 6 days, I mean, we was having a hard time finding a mature shooter mule deer. Well, we got on, and each morning, what we would do is you have to drop the dogs off. I mean, and like if I am the hunter, you drop the dogs off, and if you get you drop the dogs off, and then if the tracker finds a mountain lion, then you can come back to him. So we would go release the dogs in the morning, then we'd go mule deer hunt throughout the day, and then the tracker would try to get on a mountain lion. We got on one, but it was a small tom early on, so we let it go. So that was on like the 4th day. And then finally on the last day, it was like, golly, man, looks like we're gonna go home empty handed. And on the last day, the guy said, hey, we've got a good tom treed if you want to come get it. And we were like an hour and a half away and said, yeah, we'll come. We're coming. We're making our way. Well, we were making our way. We were on a totally separate part of the reservation, and we were making our way out because we were way back in there. And on our way out, we seen this big mule deer that was tending a doe. So we stopped, and then we did a mini stalk on it. We went back around the cedars and went down in the canyon and popped back up, and we got on that mule deer. And turns out, he was close to a 180-inch mule deer. So we got a mountain lion to go kill, and I shoot this mule deer. So then we have to do, some B-roll footage of hunting the mule deer. We had to do some interviews. We had to cape it out. We had to gut it and get it loaded up into the truck, take pictures, and we're still driving, and he's still got this mountain lion treed. So we finally get over there to it. And to back up, I forgot a very important thing. On the first day, I was like, God, I wished I had my bow with me. Well, my guide was a game warden. And I said, I sure would have rather killed this with my bow. And he goes, well, you can kill it with your rifle. And he says, it's kind of funny because his name is Dondi, Dondi, but he's his voice is kind of a high pitched surfer dude from California. And he tells me, he says, hey, T-Bone, you can use my bow, man. So he said, you can use my bow. So I was like, well, man, I appreciate it. And I was figuring he's got some old bear or something like that. And I'm like, what are the chances of him shooting a Hoyt? And I said, well, what kind of bow you got? And he goes, nothing but the best, bro. I shoot a Hoyt carbon element. I
I
thought,
love it.
I said, that's awesome. I said, man, you got you shooting a bow of choice. So with I borrowed his bow. We get there. We walk all the way up the mountain. Luckily, it wasn't that bad of a hike to get in there to him. Got in there to him, and he's up there in the trees, and we figured out. And I'm thinking, golly, I'm having to shoot this other guy's bow, and it's only 12 yards. I said, well, I got him. I think I got a good beat on him. And man, I promise it. Call it luck or what have you. I could, if there was a 50-cent piece on the side of that mountain line, I hit exactly where I needed to. He fell out, ran 40 yards, and man, the good Lord answered prayers. This big old flat-footed Georgia boy got his mountain lion with a bow. So that was a super duper uh, rewarding to me. I would have never thought that I'd killed a mountain lion, and lo and behold, he's just on the other side of that wall right there. He's he's right in our living room right now. Got him full body mounted.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It,
Actually, his skull's over there on the shelf there.
let me see. Oh,
Yeah, there's
what's
his
that?
skull right there on the top shelf.
Oh, his skull. Oh, look at there.
Yeah. So his European mounted skull's right there on the. I'll go get it. Hold on just a second.
All right.
Slide over in a wheelchair.
Holy cow.
There's a skull right there.
Oh my goodness. That is beautiful.
Yep.
That's a big cat right there, boy.
Yep. Here, kitty, kitty.
He,
So
he ain't meowing no more. I can promise you
no.
that.
Yep. So I got his skull, and he just made Pope and Young, and he's mounted full bodied in our living room. So got memories for forever.
That's awesome. What's that buck over there, the shoulder mount I just saw?
That one there,
Yeah.
I killed that one with Kenneth Lancaster as a killed that on Waddell's property in Kansas quite a few years. That was on the ninth day of a hunt, and that buck it made the video too. It was a Kansas buck, and that was the very last day we were there. And he come walking in. It was like middle of the day, 11:30, 12 o'clock. We was kind of disgusted about to get down, and here he comes lumbering right on in. Killed him out of the same exact tree stand that Blake Shelton killed his buck, the one that he had two different racks years ago. I mean, like probably around 2010, 2009 when Blake hunted with us.
Right.
This
So that's early. That
early.
is
Yeah.
okay.
Now
I was trying to think.
I
I was
killed
trying to
that deer like 2012, 2013. But Blake killed his buck out of the same exact tree stand around 2009.
right. That's why I was trying to place in my mind which one that was.
And then
Oh,
that buck right there beside the map, I killed in Texas. That was around 2010 or 11 with
oh,
my.
okay. I think he's got some nice brows on him, man.
Yeah, he does. That's a good buck. He's got a great coat. It's hard to tell, but that's a real pretty mount.
I recognize that skull mount underneath that one. That's from Oklahoma, isn't it?
That's right. Yep, that's old double F.
He's the one I think as soon as you let that arrow in him, all you heard was
That's exactly right. You got that right. And then this buck right here above me,
oh wow.
that's
Oh
a
wow.
mule. That's a mule deer though. Now that's a big mule deer that I killed in Wyoming, um, with Nick at 7J Outfitters. Killed. It was
Yep.
a combo tag. That was real early on. That was like 2009.
I remember that one too. It was when you were sitting on that hill and all you hear that gun was go boom.
Yeah, I crawled. I had to belly crawl for so long because that guy asked me, he said, "How good are you at crawling?" And I said, "Well, I ain't the best at crawling. How far are you thinking about crawling?" We had to crawl about 40 yards. And then that one right there is a triple beard I killed. That bird's got three beards.
Wow. I can
Yeah.
see that. Good Lord.
And then that one right there, uh, I killed during Country Goes Hunting. That was before we even started Bone Collector. That was in 2007, was it? Yeah, 2006. And it had 1 3/4 spurs.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you can see it or not, but see that gator skull?
Yeah, that's the one that it was unseen footage at first from Realtree Road Trips
Let's see.
because it was
That's right.
worn.
Yeah, that's the one I shot in the eye.
Holy cow!
See the arrow broke off in his skull?
Um,
I'll get it. I'll get it. Hold on.
oh man, you don't need to do a lot of stuff.
Oh, I don't mind
It's all good, brother.
if I'm
Hey,
showing
I
them.
like seeing mount.
Yep.
Oh wow.
So yeah, you can see the arrow in his skull.
Oh my gosh, that's
I meant,
incredible.
yeah, I meant to hit him right here. I meant to hit him right here
Oh yeah.
where it's soft, and I missed a little bit, and it went right under his eye, and it luckily it stuck in there, and then we was able to pull him in.
There you go. That is awesome. Yeah, I remember that. It was one on the road trip show, I think, but it was I never seen footage, and I think Bolt Collector finally uploaded it when they decided to.
It was in South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was on the bank. I mean, most time you do it from a boat, but we stocked up on him on the bank through the
Wow.
cattails. Yeah,
There you go. That's a
I'll be right
big.
back.
What's that, Bone?
Had to go put him down.
Oh, I know it. That's a big one.
Yeah, he was 10'8".
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. Now
So
that triple beer turkey, was that on a Bone Collector show?
that was on my I think so. I don't remember. I killed that over on my buddy my best friend's farm, Brian Schmeck. I killed it right up the road.
Oh, okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, it's in Coweta County.
There you go. How about that elk you killed? Because that story was incredible.
Yeah, yeah. Those guys are absolutely fantastic. I tell anybody if they want to go and really get taken care of on a place that's just absolutely loaded with elk, go to Utah and hunt with that R&K Outfitters. But yeah, Daniel and Dave, Hollywood Dave, we called him. So yeah, we all teamed up, and I mean it happened quick. It was on the third day of the hunt, and we thought we had heard some, and then Dave went up the ridge ahead of us, and we was already hunting at like 10,300, 10,400 feet, and I was feeling lightheaded. If you get you up that high, you get you know God, air sickness kind of because you're so high, elevation sickness. So he let out a couple of cow calls, and they bugled off. They fired off right off the bat, and he come running. And this guy's in shape. He runs triathlons and stuff like that. And he gets back here and he's going, "They're coming! They're
I
coming!"
saw the whole thing. He
Yeah,
was,
booking it. Yeah, he said, "They're coming! Get set
they're
up."
coming.
Yep. So we got set up real quick, and man, they come charging in looking for something, and we was going back and forth. They looked like twins. They were satellite bulls, so you could shoot either one of them. They looked about like twins, but I think it turned out I killed the bigger of the two. But yeah, he stopped, and man, I luckily all them arrows and all that practice and for all them years paid off, and I put one where it counted, and man, he went about 75 yards and piled up, and we still got some ground elk meat in the freezer downstairs.
That's that. I watched the whole thing. He said he come in there like a like a he come in there just wanting to go.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was looking for some tootie, that's for sure.
He but man, that was a perfect shot. According away, all you heard is
Yeah, yeah, it did good, boy. That mega meat eat him up like a redneck picnic.
there you go. That's awesome. Bone, I gotta tell you this. I've been wanting to tell you this for a while, but so back in let's see, but you might have already heard it. I'm not sure. It's been on the interview, but back on, let's see, late February, about a month after we did our first show, I went to that Dick's Deer Classic in Raleigh,
Yeah.
and I knew that Realtree had a booth over there, supporting the new APX, and then they got Advantage. And in fact, I bought this hat from them, the old Advantage.
Oh yeah.
So I bought that from there. And while we're on that subject, I made this on Amazon. I customized it, but it's a Realtree original pattern.
Heck yeah.
That's
That's the original.
right. And I'm supporting Hunter Ridge Outdoors.
That's right.
And I showed that to Pitts, and he was tickled pink when he saw that.
Oh, Pitts.
And but I went to the show there, and I talked to the guys over there, and I said, um, one guy mentioned that he was one of the video editors for the Monster Buck series.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey man," I said, "I got my own channel." I said, "I'm self filming my hunts. I got them on video." And I told him, I said, "Is there any way possible?" I said, "If I can get a nice buck on video or anything like that for next year or something like that," I said, "Is there any way I can send it to y'all to try to apply for the video series?" He got that pen and paper out. And he said, "Here's my email. If you get one, send it to me."
There you go.
So I was like, "There's my chance, man." And so I've been, and watching these shows really gets me a good idea of how close or how far away do you want the buck to be while self filming? Because I noticed Michael Pitts has done it a lot. And we talked about it. I said, you want enough background, but you want to get close to the deer
Yep.
because you want to be able to see that impact real good, and you want to be able to see him run off real good if that's what he does.
Well, yeah, and then the thing about it is spend all your time trying to film the critter because he's the most unpredictable. You can always go back and film the B-roll or the getting ready for the shot. You can do that after the fact if you need to, just to build a story around it because you are predictable and you drawing the bow is predictable, but you don't know what that deer is going to do. So, focus on getting good quality footage with him, and then you can build a story around that.
Absolutely. So, but that's what I told Pitts. I said, man, it's by your own judgment too, because when you're filming that one deer, you want enough room. For example, if he takes off and stops, if he's still on film, and then you draw back and shoot him, because if you're like right on him, right dead square on him, he could easily walk off or get spooked, and you have already drawn your bow back or something. You have to let it back down. So that's why I try to get enough background, but enough of that deer to get
Another
him on.
another thing to help you is always put the deer in the back third of the frame. Put him in the back third of the frame. Like if my phone is like if this is the frame and here's his head, his head's this way and his butt's this way, put him back here. Because he's not going to go backwards. And you're anticipating going forward. So if you
Right.
got it in the center, then you only allowing this much room for him to go forward. But if he's back here, where the edge of the frame is at the back of his butt, you got all this room to get him, and you can afford for him to take a step or two and still be in frame to shoot him. And then
Right.
also it's good if you're filming with a camera and if you'll have a GoPro over you in wide view, you got something to cut to. So even if you don't get it, you got something that's capturing all the action still.
That's right. That's what I've done actually. I've had that view before where I've got the camcorder. I use basically two cameras at the most. I've got the camcorder filming the corn or where the deer are going to be at. And then I've got the GoPro. Well, I've done it before. I've done it different ways. But one time, I have a GoPro filming me. And because the GoPro, I love about it, gets a huge amount of area
Yeah.
and it can get everything. So,
But
like,
remember, you can film that again after the fact. So if
right,
so if
absolutely.
you had it over your shoulder, if it's over your shoulder wide, it can get you drawing back, and then the deer's out there too.
Absolutely.
And then you got your regular camera that does the zoom in, the tight on it. And then if you need a different angle of you drawing it back from the side after you shoot the deer, take your GoPro and set it up facing at you, and then just draw your bow like you're gonna shoot it, but we all know you've already killed a deer.
That's right. Oh yeah. It is awesome to learn too, and definitely for your own judgment. And I told people never give up on your dreams because I don't know, only God knows, but who knows? Maybe if I get a nice buck, well, first of all, I want to shoot something that's bigger than this Joker. And from what it looks like, I may have two that I may be keeping my eyes on that looks bigger to be him. Because at my boss's place, this buck has got super broad towels and a big old kicker coming off right in front of the other.
Ah,
So he's going to be a good one.
y'all already got pictures of him this year.
Oh yeah. He's responding very well. He's coming to the minerals. He's hanging around almost every day, probably over there.
Oh, good.
So that's really good, especially for early season. But we'll see, man. I'm going to be very particular of shooting bucks. I don't want to, you know what I mean. I want to, anything mature is great, but for me being 22, almost 22 years old, to shoot something bigger than this would be great.
Yeah, I tell everybody shoot as long as it's legal and it makes you happy. By all means, let it rip.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with that at all.
Not at all.
I was I was so tickled though to get this buck because I knew when I picked his head up and realized how wide he was, I was like, this thing's bigger than the one from last year.
That's a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. And I know without a doubt that buck was mature 100%. Um, but he definitely got his butt whooped during the rut because
Yeah,
he took a beating.
yeah. Had to repair that antler, huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely, buddy. How about those we can't forget that catchphrase when y'all were doing the Willie and T-Bone skit back on Monster Bucks, those fish sticks.
That's right. My
We
wife
can't
she bought fish sticks the other day.
oh, did she?
I like an old fish stick. I mean, just them cheap ones that look like a finger laying there. I love them.
There you go. I haven't ate any in a good while. I'm gonna get my grandma to buy some of those because I ain't ate them in who knows how long, but
Yeah.
they were good.
Make some homemade tartar sauce
There you go.
with Duke's mayonnaise too.
There you go.
Gotta have the Dukes.
There you go, buddy. Absolutely. But yeah, man, I wanted to tell you about that, about getting that guy's email. I still got it
What's his
on
name?
paper. What's that?
What was his name?
Uh, let's see. I may not remember.
Or what's his last name? I would know after his last name.
Probably so. Let's see. Geez, I got tons of paper in here, receipts and stuff. I definitely keep track. Let's see. I'll get it. Just may take a little bit here. That's a receipt from Barbaritos. Let's see. Have y'all got a restaurant called Barbaritos near y'all?
We got a Papacitos, not a Barbaritos.
Hey, that sounds even better.
Is y'all's a Mexican restaurant?
No, the Barbaritos is it's just like a burrito place, and
Oh,
there's different Mexican places near us that I love to eat. There's one called here it is right here. There's one called Palenque, and that's my favorite. All I get there is the fajita chicken nachos.
they're good.
Oh yeah, I got it right here. Jay Milliner. That ring a bell?
Yep, I know him.
Yep, he's the one that gave me his email, and he said he does the edits on there. So he said to email it to him if I get one.
What town do y'all live in?
We're in Kernersville. It's a small town just in Forsyth County. We're uh
Cartersville?
Kernersville.
Kerr?
Kernersville.
Okay, Kernsville. And that's North Carolina, right?
Right.
Okay. I didn't know what part of I knew you was in North Carolina, but I didn't know what part.
Yep. Right there. We're just to the left of Guilford County.
Okay.
And legally, my boss's place is just inside of Guilford. I mean, as soon as you turn in his road to basically his mailbox, that's in Forsyth. But his property where I'm hunting is right in Guilford.
Ah,
So legally, I could go in there. Um, so a week before Guilford County's, as far as I know, it's going to be the same this year. It always is, but a week before muzzleloader and rifle season, that opens up a week before Forsyth County's firearm season. So luckily, I could go in there and get one early, muzzleloader or a rifle.
oh, that'd be good.
Oh yeah, because my dad took a nice 8-pointer in my boss's place with a rifle, and that was just in Guilford. And then the next day, I killed that big buck at my grandpa's old house, which was in Forsyth.
Ah,
So, because I told the folks, I said, "Man, I like to let that muzzleloader burn." And sure enough, he come in there slowly but surely coming, and he was 12 yards from me, and I shot, and boy, he took off. And dude, he didn't even go 60 yards, and he died and fell right at a particular place that we'd always walk into to the old ground blind that's done gone now, or old tent, they say. That little trail right there. If you stood there and just looked at the hole, all you would see is a buck tumbling and fell right in front of it.
wow.
So really, from what I saw, I didn't see no blood, but I heard the crash and I knew he was not far at all. And I just walked up there and there he was, laying all right there.
That's awesome. Does your boss have the lake that you were fishing at?
No, that's
On
actually a customer that my dad delivers firewood to. We
ah,
split and cut firewood. My dad does that as a side job. So, but that's the old gentleman that decided to let me come to his fishing pond. I mean, literally, the day I met him, had no idea who he was from Adam. But he said, "We got some fishing here." I said, "That little boy right there wants to go fishing." I said, "Yeah." So I was able to go do that, and we'll try with a couple more people before hunting. So, and then we're booked to go to the beach again. So I'm excited about that to do some saltwater fishing.
y'all go to Myrtle Beach?
We go to Emerald Isle actually.
Oh, okay.
That's a that's a real nice place. That's a one of the best beaches I know of, and a lot of people recommend that place. They got all kinds of cool stuff. They got go karts, they got mini golf, they got bowling there at different places. They got the new sports shop. You've heard of that place?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I felt like I was at Bass Pro Shops at the beach. That was awesome, man. In fact, while I was down there, I was like, I'm gonna buy me some decode sin elimination while I'm down there.
Are y'all going in July?
Oh, actually in September. So
Okay.
um, deer season opens up uh, that Saturday after Labor Day. So then um, a full week will go by of deer season, and then we'll go the week after that. So at least I'll get to hunt some definitely before the beach.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who plans them vacations is during hunting season? That ain't right.
It's about the only time my dad's got a chance to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And we actually we always go the week after Labor Day. But my mom looked everywhere, and we got a Shih Tzu. My sweet little Jax is his name, and we looked. My mom looked all over the for that those particular condos that we normally stay in that are pet safe to keep pets in. She couldn't find a single one. They were already booked up, and of course we booked later than we had planned to. And Mama said, she told my dad and said, "Is there any way possible? I know you really book at the end of the beginning of the year, but is there any way you could probably go ahead and try? Is there a possible way you could book for this week?" And he's like, "I'm gonna tell you that right now. I ain't gonna be able to book for." After a lot of praying, luckily he was able to get that week off.
Oh, that's good.
So that worked for the best, and now we get to take our dog. He loves the beach, but he hates the water.
Yeah, all that fur.
Oh, I know it, man.
He's probably
Um,
shaved down right now, ain't he?
what do you mean?
Don't y'all shave it's a Shih Tzu. They got long hair. Don't you shave him down for the summertime?
Oh yeah, we don't let it grow that much. He ain't no fancy dog. He grows balls every once in a while all around him with the hair and stuff, but every month he goes and we get him groomed. So
Gotcha.
yeah, we don't let him get too fancy. But while we were talking about trophy rooms, man, you got to see mine. I want to show you this thing. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Well, there's my hunting bench of everything.
There you go.
Got all the calls and everything laying there in the hunting books. And there's all my small rack bucks. That's that one I shot with the bow that we had to recover the next day. That's my first ever buck right there. Shot it behind the house with a muzzleloader. And then there's the tail of my first squirrel. And then I shot that 6-pointer during the rut. And then I shot that 7-pointer. We painted that skull mount actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did painted it. And then that ornament right there is of my buddy Greg that passed.
Yeah.
And then
I
and
remember you
here's a
telling
pic.
me about him.
Yeah, I sure miss him. But then my grandfather passed a year and a half ago too, so that was tough.
Yeah.
But that's all of us of all the deer we killed last year. Well, there's me, my dad, my cousins, and my buddy Jonathan. Because the one my Jonathan killed, that big one right there, that was a
Yeah.
monster.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
so he got it on video too. So it'll be on my channel.
Oh, good.
You talk about awesome footage, man. Whew, that buck come in chasing and ran another 10-pointer off, and that was the one he wanted the most. And he called him Mac. Mac was his name that Jonathan called him. And but he come on in there and just he smoked him with a crossbow.
That's good.
Oh yeah, let's see here. There's my sheds from. Let's see, that one I picked up behind my house. This thing's a big shed.
Yeah, it is.
That would have easily been a 130-inch 8-pointer for sure.
Yep, long main
Um,
beams.
oh yeah, but then there's that one. That's the one I shot during COVID, and but there's the one we all want to see right there, boy.
Mac Daddy.
That's right. He's a beautiful deer.
Yeah, oh yeah, he is.
And then, but there's the big one I shot behind the house two-ish years ago. He had all that character on him, and of course he because of the mask man. Look at all that extra junk on him. I love that.
He's got long main beams too, don't he?
Oh yeah, 21-inch main beams, I think. So, but then there's old Gobby.
Old Gobby.
So that was all of those memories are awesome, man. And oh, dang it, I can't turn the there we go. But hopefully we get to lay them down even more, man. I'm pumped.
Yep. Members are just starting, man. You still got a
Oh
long
yeah,
ways to go.
absolutely. And I know something else we mention a lot. The golden age of whitetails is right upon us. Like literally, the best is yet to come for deer hunting, I think, and we're seeing more bigger bucks in all of our area. You know what I mean?
That's right. You're
I, I
exactly right.
personally, I personally think that best is to come for sure.
Yeah, I think
Um,
more people are I mean, not that we expect it, but more people are choosing to go the route of trophy management. And by all means, that don't mean it's forced upon anybody, but if you've already, you know, if you want to fill the freezer, take a few does, and then just rather than shooting a year and a half or 2.5-year-old buck, just wait till he's 4.5 or 5.5 to shoot him so that he can get a little bigger. But that don't mean that you have to, or nobody's going to look down upon you if you don't. But if that's something that you choose to do, it benefits everybody.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. And that's another thing you're going to that about. Oh, I meant to tell you this earlier, but New Year's Day of this past year or this year, I was able to experience my first deer dog drive, which was cool.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yep, that was a lot of fun hearing them dogs bark, and a little kid laid down a nice buck and they killed a coyote as well. So, um,
They don't
but
do that. They don't do that all. all over North Carolina, do they? It's just out near the coast, right?
Actually, this one we did this in Caswell County.
Okay.
So my buddy Greg had a place over there and still does. His wife still owns it, I think. But he could not stand dog drives because he always hunted in that county, and I think it would kind of disturb him a little bit as far as the deer goes. And that's definitely pressure that no one wants to see if they run dogs and stuff in their county. I personally think that's why he couldn't stand it. But uh, talking about shooting does, man, we can't forget about you and Michael and Nick going up to Jersey and Pennsylvania. Those were cool episodes to watch. You there, Bone? Uh-oh. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've hit a turbulence here. Oh, uh-oh, I think we done left, folks. Uh-oh. Hey, it's just me again. I don't know what happened there, but hmm, that is weird, folks. Well, we're gonna figure out something here. We're about to close this podcast out anyway, but I have no idea uh what happened on that. So stay tuned. I don't know what just happened. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've hit a turbulence here.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Uh
It's about to storm here, and our internet went out.
oh.
Yeah,
Oh, we were about to wrap this up anyway, but yeah, we were talking about the New Jersey and Pennsylvania does that y'all have been able to go on. That looked like a lot of fun.
it was, man. It just knowing that anything walking in there, you can just let it fly, man. The more the merrier.
That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely, man.
I had the safety kicked off the whole time.
That's right. And a quiver full of arrows too.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Hunting in people's backyard. I mean, you could see them in there making breakfast and smell the sausage burning. I'm like, hey lady, flip them biscuits before they burn.
I love it. Yeah, man. Hey, you know what? Let's try doing this. Let's try to get some more folks on the podcast. Let's try to get Waddy or Nick, any of those guys.
Sounds good. I'll get those two, and then I'll connect you with Chris Hall and then Anthony Cineground too. Those will be two good guys that even if you don't get them on the podcast, at least there'd be a network of friends. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's do it, man. It'd be definitely cool to get to hunt together one day, man. Maybe that'll work out in the future.
You never know. You never know. Make sure that you tell your little brother happy birthday and tell your family hello for me.
I sure will, buddy. I sure will. Absolutely. Yeah, man. We definitely need to get some more folks on there because I'm and I'm encourage you to watch this too. I'm going to have a podcast with my buddy Jonathan. There's a lot of people here around here know him as John Boy. He's like the goat of modified racing at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston Salem. And NASCAR just announced that they've bought or they've done affiliated with the track. And that's an old quarter-mile racetrack in Winston Salem. And but Jonathan will tell his testimony of the kind of man he was, how he used to race people, and now God has used him in an amazing, amazing way, and what he has done now. And he's actually going to be partaking a sermon on Facebook tomorrow. So he's told me about it, what it's going to be about, and I'm excited for him. And
oh, good.
And he's going to share some hunting stories, and especially of old Mac. I mean that was a if I could kill a deer like that, I'd say, you know what, I wouldn't have to hunt no more. I'm done after that.
Well, you got plenty of time, buddy.
Absolutely, man. I believe it, but I'm not in a rush, man. I'm just happy what I got, man. And
You
we'll
gotta enjoy, yeah, enjoy the journey, man. Enjoy the journey.
absolutely. But folks, I hope y'all all enjoyed that. It was always fun, T-Bone. It's always a pleasure, buddy. So glad we've been able to come friends for this. And honestly, I would never known from the time I met you when I was 7 years old. And if you remember, you and my mom had that conversation
Hmm.
about autism. And here we are now.
I know it. I know it. I tell you what, it's a God is good, man. He puts the right people in front of you and become friends with good folks. So yeah, certainly glad to know you and be friends with you and just to see you and your career and everything you got going on and slowly but surely just enjoying the journey and climbing the ladder. It's awesome, buddy.
That's right. And Lord willing, we keep climbing, and maybe I'll be joining you on Monster Bucks. How about that?
You never know it. Or maybe we'll start our own video series. Like call it Big Fat Nannies.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I'm getting there too.
yeah. We no, I'm talking about the nanny, the does. We you yeah, does, nanny, does. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't leave the ladies out.
there you go. That's right.
That's
We're
right.
chasing old nannies.
That's
There
right. Big fat nannies.
you go, buddy. But ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for tuning in. There'll be more podcasts, and we'll definitely get old Waddy and Nick Munn and maybe the Jordans on here. And it'll just get better. I can promise you, folks.
Awesome. I appreciate you having me, man. Have a good one.
Hey, T-Bone, good to see you, buddy. Hunter Ridge Outdoors, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all on the next podcast. Deer season's coming. It's going to be good. Y'all stand by. We'll see you next time.